Okay, bottling day. Again, we go with two cups of water. Get that boiling a while here. It's going to take a while to get this set up here. So I find my measuring cup. Oh boy, it's right where I left it. That's nice. You get our scale out here. You put our measuring cup on there. Make sure we're set in ounces here. We were not. We are now. I believe we're set in ounces here. Maybe I'm not. Grams. Pounds and ounces. Ounces. My measuring cup on there. Zero out the scale. Get my bottling sugar. It's corn sugar. I buy the 4 or 5 pound bag here. Corn sugar. And we're looking for 5 ounces, 5.1, 5.10. That's my carbonation level I'm going to go with this time. There's 3, there's 4, approaching 5. Come on. Perfect. 5.10. 5.10. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Go ahead and put that scale away. Shut her off. The water's starting to boil on the stove. Got the bottling sugar ready. Trying to do one flow motion here. We'll get our sugars in here. Water's just about boiling. Just stir them in there. Stir them in there. Stir them in there. Let they come back up to a boil for a minute. Cover on. There we go to transfer here in a minute. You got the hydrometer in the bottling bucket. Trying to drain off some of the last little fluids here. It's a non-rinse sanitizer. It really don't matter, but ain't gonna hurt nothing. Okay. Oh, that's in there. And then a carboy. Quick pump. Hands are sanitized again. This is the Infamy beer. We're going to get a reading on the hydrometer here. Should have been to the side. I screwed up there. Less bubbles, better. Okay, check our valve. We're not even up to valve level, so you keep an eye on that as I pull this sample out. If it's coming out of the valve on me. And looks like we're at, sure, I thought we would have finished better than that. $10.23, folks. Not even really into the beer range here too much. One more check. $10.23. Okay, that's good. All right, back to the bottling. We're almost had the rack collapse here because it's getting old and weak. It's made of plastic. And just fill these up quick. Came in at 5.5%. It was 12.12 higher than the last batch. Right on the money. The taste is awesome. Infamy beer brew number 2. First one, we spilled 2 gallons all over the floor. when my bottling bucket fell off of this cart right here, and it just collapsed, and we had 2 gallons all over the floor. I had 2 gallons all over the floor. What a mess, I can tell you that right now. We never want to really experience that again, because we lost a lot of beer. And those that don't know, 2 gallons is 18 bottles. That would be almost exact, so not good. So we're going to finish these off here and get back to it. I might even bottle a Red Eye Rye tonight, because it's a couple days in, or we'll let it go another day or two. That's sitting up there in the other carboy there under the Bazooka Man, or Hookah Man they call him, I guess. The old Hookah Man, he's got one of those Indian hookahs going there. So yeah, that's it, you know. I don't want to bore anybody with this bottling process. It goes pretty quick when you just move along. Moving right along, we got about a half a case to go. A little more than a half a case, maybe 16 bottles. I'm going to probably end up getting 50 bottles off of this rack, and 48 to the case, 50, 52 sometimes. So yeah, we're just moving right along with the capper here. This case here is full. One case here is full over here. This one's filling up quick. So we're moving right along, I said. How you doing? Got it down to a science until my back starts hurting. Cramps up. So, yeah, 2 full cases and 3 extras. So that's 53 bottles, to tell you the truth. So on today, after that, lunchtime here, we're gonna be making a homemade bean soup. All right, we're trying another recipe here today. This is actually a soup. It's gonna be a bean soup. I got 1 pound of mixed beans. They're northern beans, pinto beans, blah blah blah, peas, all kinds of stuff in there, soaking in the water. We're gonna add 1 more bag of them. They're just the Joya beans there. You soak those for a couple hours. I got it on simmer. It'll be about 14 or so bouillon cubes, 2 onions, 3 carrots, 4 carrots at the most. I'm going to put in another 2-3 cans of northern beans out of the cans when the soup is done. They'll go in last. Get some celery, pepper, salt, bay leaves. I think I got it all in there. Basically, that's it. And we're going to cook it down, and haven't made one of these in years, so I'm going to really love it. Of course, I love my soups here at the labels are on the wine. That's all done. Of course, I'll be making, in the future, I'm going to be making some black cherry wine. We'll get that on camera, too. That's always a good tasting one. And I tried my pineapple the other day. Last night. That's probably why I'm feeling a little funny right now. I made this pineapple, May 27th. It was bottled in 2017. So on with the bean cook here, with the bean soup. And we'll get back to you as we put the ham hock in there and all the other ingredients and blah, 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 blah. Alright, we're 2 hours in on the bean soup cook here. Got the beans in the bottom of the kettle. They're starting to soften up there. We're just sitting in hot water. I'm going to get some more in there. I got more coming. The wife's at the store picking up some more ingredients, the ham pieces and that. So we're going to dump in the vegetables. Turn out these 6-7 carrots and 3 onions. I want to get those in now. Let them soften up a while. Oh, I love soup. I'm just one of those soup freaks, I'll tell you. I don't buy soup in a can ever. I make my own tomato soup too, which I'll show you how we'll be doing that. Probably in a month or so. That's a nice, interesting process. You take the tomatoes, slice them, get the skins off, put them in the oven, caramelize them up, if you will, and then put them in the blender, and you got a nice soup. It takes a lot of tomatoes to get a good soup, but you can do it. So yeah, let this go. We're waiting for the ham to come. It'll go in this broth here, and we'll get that boiling up for you. And well, not for you, but for me. Back with the bean soup cook, we got some ham. Ooh, look at the steam. We got a small piece of ham in the kettle, broken up, cooking up slowly. Yep, another pack of beans, Joya beans in the water here. They're softening up. On low, they're softening up. We got some some salt pork in a kettle here. We're frying it up. We're going to fry that up first and put it in the into the mix. And of course I got some butter beans. I love those. And northerns. 4 more cans of northerns are going to go in there. And then we start taste testing. But I haven't made bean soup now. Oh my God! It's last batch of bean soup I made was a good 7, 8, 10 years ago. Yeah, and maybe 11. So it's going to be good. Of course, I'll have some to put in the freezer as normal. Always some to put in the freezer. That just seems to be the way it goes, you know. Flip the salt pork. I'm going to brown that up a little bit like that. Get it browned up. I don't know what happened to my burner here. Thought it went out for a minute. I got the ham. We're going to cut those in little pieces also. Shortly. Once we brown this up a little bit. Gotta brown her up a little bit. Burner's failing me. And that ham we're going to take out, we're going to slice that up too shortly. We'll show that. Take a look at the bean soup here. It should be finished up here very shortly. Oh, tons of beans in there for sure. I like them to break down a little bit more. It gives the soup more of a flavor. Yeah, they're looking good. It's looking good. The color's looking good. Let's say another 15 minutes on a decent boil, and I'll shut this thing off. I'll call it done. I like some of the beans to break up, but I like some of them to stay whole. The peas are just about done. So yeah, it's a 4-hour thing for those things to soak. Of course, you can boil the living heck out of it, but I don't think it's necessary to boil the living heck out of it like that. But you could. You can roll that boil really good. So yeah, these are bean soup. We'll have a bowl of it shortly, and we'll see how it tastes. All right, we're gonna, in the dark light, try some of my soup. I'll spill it all over my wife's hand here. What happened? And get that in the back there. Watch your fingers. Smacking it on down with a cauliflower pizza. A recipe that came from someplace.
Someplace delicious.
Delicious someplace. So it's cauliflower ground up in the blender with a little bit of, I'm going to guess, a little onion.
Egg.
Some egg.
Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese.
And salt.
Salt.
No pepper.
Pepper.
Vinegar sauce.
Some regular
Tomato paste.
Regular homemade.
Yes, made with tomato paste. Oregano, salt, and pepper, and a little bit of sugar. Because a little sugar doesn't hurt you.
No, just a little. And that does not cause cancer in California, I don't think.
Spread it around.
Yeah, the pizzeria would flop this in the air, but you can't do that. This is made of cauliflower. We're gonna reiterate that. Cauliflower, egg, a little flour, baking powder. No baking powder. Oh, the sauce smells like it's pure tomato paste. It's my favorite. Homemade oregano. I'm gonna throw in there a regular. We do have homemade oregano, but I said oregano, not oregano with an H. Right, Rupert? Right, Rupert? Then we throw some mozzarella. Beautiful mozzarella cheese. And this cooks out real thin, folks. It's on one of those pizza stones that's well seasoned, very well seasoned. It's about, oh boy, 10, 11 years old now, I think. Could be wrong on that, but it's
we're going to put some pepperoni on top.
Beautiful stone. And we're going to throw some pepperoni on top, which you don't have to. You can put anything on this. It's going to stay together. You might have to eat it with a fork. Sometimes you can pick it up, but it doesn't matter. It's delicious. And the calorie intake on it, it's on the low side. I'm going to go with the 280 range for a half a pie.
Very low calorie.
Don't trust me on that one.
No carbs. Carbs have been eliminated.